I think we just had the wedding rehearsal.
Geico. 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance.
Going beyond the ordinary, this is Issues Today. I'm Bob Gourley. Epilepsy is a disease I think that most people don't know too much about. If you have not had any personal experience with it, it probably doesn't affect you at all. But for those who suffer with it or those who know people that do, it can be really a problem for their life. And we're going to talk today to Don Miller, who has a new book out called Epilepsy Memoir, My 40-Year Detour, and we'll find out what his story is and maybe give some hope for people. Don, good to have you with us on the program.
Well, thank you much.
You've had this for 40 years. Tell us your very early experiences with it.
Okay, in 1974, in August, I had two grand mal seizures, as they were called at the time. Now they're called generalized tonic-clonic seizures. And then after that, they progressed to complex partial seizures. Partial seizure involves one lobe of the brain or part of the brain. A generalized seizure involves the whole brain. And from complex partial, they progressed to absence seizures, which is another generalized seizure, and then to a type of seizure. It mimics a generalized seizure, an atonic seizure.
So you had different types of things. At what age did this first begin?
Okay, age 11.
11, okay. And I would imagine that through your school life and all that, you were probably bullied a lot, and probably a lot of people had no clue what was going on, did they?
I was considered different than everyone else. Yeah, there was a good deal of harassment that I underwent during my high school years.
As you got older, you actually had a bout also with alcohol addiction, right?
Yes, I had a serious problem with alcohol from age 16 to age 26. And
was that? Do you think that that's definitely because of the epilepsy, or was it because of other things?
It was more peer pressure, and I tried a beer at one party that we had in high school, and I just liked the chemical-induced escapism of it. And in 1986, I had my last beer, and I've been sober since then, which is 27, 28 years now.
Wow, that's great. You've been able to overcome that. How do you deal with the disease now? Is there medication now? Is it gotten better? Or how are you?
I'm on a good quantity of medication. There's one called Keppra. I'm on 3,000 milligrams of that a day. There's one called Banzel, and I'm on 3,200 milligrams of that a day. And then another one called Lamictal, and I'm on 500 milligrams of that a day. So good amounts of medication, yes.
That sounds like it. Have the seizures stopped, or have they just gotten less, or what happens now?
They're fairly well controlled, but I still do have them 2 to 3 a week.
And these just crop up anywhere, no matter what you're doing? Are they stress-induced, or does they just come on?
Well, there's several precipitors or triggers for seizures. One is caffeine use, one is fatigue, one is stress, there's overheating, there's sensory seizures. They might be brought about by sound or flickering lights. Anyway, mine are basically fatigue and stress.
Yeah, so you have to help monitor that as well, and with the fatigue. What do you tell people that have maybe are just beginning to experience it, or know somebody that's experiencing this? What is some advice you can give them?
basically that people that have epilepsy are normal as anyone else. Normal is not a word I really care to use because who's to say who is normal? We're the same as everybody else. People with epilepsy can fall in love. At one point, people with epilepsy weren't allowed to marry. They weren't allowed to have children, but that no longer is the case. Back before 1974, they had what were called epilepsy colonies, which were like leper colonies. And the last, yeah.
This was in this country. This was in this country.
Yes, it was.
Wow.
Yeah, and the last one of those closed down in 1974, the year I started having seizures.
So that population then was very much isolated from their family, I guess, and had their own community set up, but
basically was out of sight, out of mind.
Yeah.
People just didn't want to deal with people that had epilepsy.
Well, and it's I suppose for people that have never seen somebody with one that's having a seizure, particularly in public, I did witness one when I was fairly young, but I had known about the disease, so it didn't really affect me that much. Some people made sure the person was okay and that kind of thing, but you know, it's to say for people who have not experienced it or not used to it, I think it can be a stressful thing for them. I think education is probably the key, isn't it?
Yes, it is. Epilepsy advocacy. I lead a online support group with the Epilepsy Foundation site. The Epilepsy Foundation site, it's like Facebook for people that have epilepsy. They're caregivers. Some doctors belong, neurologists, psychiatrists, and we all believe in advocacy, getting the word out there.
Don Miller, thanks for the visit. The book again is Epilepsy Memoir, My 40-Year Detour.
Cloud may be just another overused buzzword.